Hello, I'm Scott Smith, and welcome to another session of the Tonomi Kitchen. Before we start, I would like to tell you a little bit about Tonomi. We are beautiful, gluten-free, organic, non-GMO, kosher, halal flowers from Togo, Africa. Our flowers are cassava, tapioca, banana, and plantain. In addition, we have medium roast, light roast, and dark roast coffees. As mentioned, all from Togo. We are a diverse supplier with our majority owner, Dr. Kojo Etinyon, who is a dual Togo and US citizen. A part of what we do, in fact, we have a strong social mission. We want to help all of our supply base in Togo improve their lives, live a better life. We're very passionate about that. And we would like to hear a little more about that from one of our partners, Mr. Mike Gorman.
Thanks very much, Scott. Yeah, as Scott mentioned, a large part of what we're trying to do here isn't just about providing markets for some excellent high quality products in the United States. It's also about making that exchange between Togo and the US more of a circle, more of a really virtuous circle, and really empowering the farmers in the communities where they live, those that produce the cassava, the plantain, the banana flowers, the coffee that we offer, and the areas, the villages, the towns, the cities where they live, because they're the ones that are bringing this excellent high quality product to different markets, and therefore they should reap the benefits and help to have that sort of empowerment that comes from access to these markets. And for us, the real key term about this, look, is empowerment. This is not charity. This is about finding ways to return some of the profits of Tonomi in the US to these to our partners, our friends in Togo themselves, so that they can use it for what's important to me and what's important to Scott and to everyone at Tonomi are things like education, right? Because it's through education that we've been able to accomplish so many great things. And that's the one equalizer in terms of really being able to accomplish what you want and fulfill the dreams that you have. So we're really, really keen on this. It's not just about bringing high quality products, that's a given, but it's about also feeling like we're contributing and providing something that is part of that virtuous circle from Togo to the United States, from the United States back to Togo. And it's a really great story because when you think about the potential in African agriculture, it truly is limitless. Some of the best land, some of the most dedicated individuals. And so if we can provide them markets for their high quality products and also provide them that empowerment in return, it really makes what we do all the more satisfying. About as good as any of our cassava products are in baked goods, and about as eye-opening and exciting as our coffees. So for us, it's about high quality products and economic empowerment and giving something back.
Hi, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. Let's welcome our friends from Togo who will be cooking for us this afternoon. Kojo, Nat.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you for the time you set up tonight to talk to us or to watch us cooking using our superfood, our super flowers. So, Togo Flower, I'm Dr. Kojo Etinyon, and after 18 years of international career, I decided to move back to Togo to help my people. And with my friend Scott in the US, we set up Tonomi to process cassava roots into cassava flour, tapioca flour, and then banana and plantain into gluten-free flowers. So tonight we're going to cook for you crackers, biscuit, something that's pretty straightforward. You can use, you can use as you can cook at home and use as an appetizer. If you like drinking, then you can use it to accompany your drinks. So tonight we will be working with Ms. Martin, who's the chief today, And then the presentation, because Martin speaks French, the translation, the presentation will be done by my son, Nathanael. Thank you. Over to you, Nathanael.
Hi there, I'm the translator. So before we begin, I just wanted to lay out what's going to be happening today. Like my dad explained, we're going to be making some sort of biscuits or crackers. There's not really an American term I can think of, so we're just going to use interchangeable words. So this is made up of 3 to 5 main ingredients. We're thinking cassava flour, which is the 4th one, as you can see over there. We're also going to be using milk, butter, and eggs. In this example, we're going to be using a serving size of for about 4 people, using 3 eggs, 2 cups of the cassava flour, half a glass of milk, and on top of all of that, you can add 3 teaspoons of butter. And to just add spices to all of that, you should be using salt and sugar to your own convenience. Or to you.
Don't you?
Donc, maintenant, nous allons commencer avec la farine de manioc
Be starting with the cassava flour.
que nous ouvrons.
He's opening it.
Voici 500 grammes de farine de manioc.
500 grams of cassava flour.
Nous allons verser dans notre assiette.
He's pouring it in the plate.
C'est tout.
That's all.
Maintenant, on prend notre fouet.
So from there, you use your whisker.
Bien, notre farine.
You mix the flour really well.
Pour bien homogénéiser la farine.
You basically want to make everything even and straight.
Quand on est sûr que c'est bon,
As soon as you realize that it's all right,
on ajoute un peu de sel.
you add just a bit of salt, about a teaspoon or half a teaspoon of that. Distribute it evenly across the bowl.
On mélange.
And then from there, you use your whisker again to mix it up.
Voir que c'est bon.
As soon as you realize that it's enough,
Au sucre.
move on to the sugar. You want to add about a good 2 or 3 teaspoons, more or less if you want to.
On mélange encore.
Back to the mixing.
Il faut toujours que ça soit uniforme.
Make sure
Avant
that
de
you're
passer
keeping it.
à l'étape suivante.
Make sure you're keeping it even throughout before moving on to the next step.
Maintenant, nous mettons les œufs.
Now you want to put eggs into the mix.
Trois œufs.
About 3 eggs. Remember, this is for about 4 people. So a 3 to 4 ratio.
Mélange, on relie bien.
Make sure you're mixing it very well and evenly throughout.
On va formater, mais on relie. Et donc, sur vous.
You gotta keep mixing even after it hardens up because of the egg.
jusqu'à ce que toute la quantité de farine est bien imbibée de
So you want to make sure that all the flour that you initially put into the bowl is basically mixed evenly with the eggs that you put in earlier.
On peut passer maintenant à l'étape suivante.
After mixing in the eggs and the flour and the salt and the sugar evenly throughout everything, you can go on to the next step.
Mettons le beurre.
And you want to add some butter to the mix.
Grande quantité de beurre.
Fairly large quantity. About 3 teaspoons is ideal, but you can add more or less depending on what you're looking for.
On continue de le lier.
After adding the butter, you want to continue mixing up evenly throughout the flour.
Ça, c'est vraiment l'intérêt. Il faut toujours le faire sortir pour mélanger la totalité de la pâte.
You're gonna get a bunch of butter and flour, everything in between, in the middle of your whisker. So you want to make sure that like you get all of it out while you're mixing, because it's not going to be good if things aren't distributed evenly throughout it.
Il faut que tout le beurre soit totalement consommé par la farine avant de passer à l'autre étape.
You want to make sure that as much butter is included within the flour as you can before moving on to the next step. So make sure to get all the butter out of the whisker and into the actual flour.
On ajoute un peu d'eau.
Make sure you add water to all of that. Makes it easier to mix the butter and the flour and all the other ingredients you added previously.
Maintenant, quand on est sûr que l'eau est totalement utilisée par la pâte, on passe maintenant à l'ajout du lait.
So after mixing up your flour, your butter, and adding water on top of it to make it easier to mix up, you want to add water. I mean, you want to add milk. Sorry, at the very end.
Maintenant, nous obtenons une pâte que nous allons bien malaxer.
So after mixing up all your ingredients, it should look like about that. And you basically now just have. All right. So after you mix up everything, you basically just want to start kneading the dough now, and you have something that you can like easily make into something, edible.
Nous allons malaxer jusqu'à obtenir une boule
So you want to keep kneading.
de pâte.
So you want to keep kneading after adding all your ingredients until you basically get like a sphere kind of shape. Basically dough. All right. So we actually don't have an electric whisker on hand, but this would go a lot faster if you had one. So just keep that in mind before you undertake these steps.
Nous nous tendons vers la fin, nous allons pétrir notre pâte. Là, on va faire une forme dans la main.
So basically, this is what it should look like. Oh, whoops, 1 second. Afterwards, just a quick recap. We mixed cassava flour, butter, milk, water, sugar, and salt. This is a serving size for about 4 people. So you want to make sure that you mix all of that properly, and we're gonna need it in a second, but this is what it should look like afterwards. Just a short recap. And from here, now we're gonna knead the dough and roll it.
Pour une quantité.
So you pick up one quantity. And grab a roller of some kind.
Nous allons étaler sur nos espaces. Pour éviter de faire coller notre pâte à nos surfaces, nous allons asperger un peu de farine sur la surface.
Okay. So to avoid getting your dough stuck on a surface, whether it's a cutting board or anything else, you gotta make sure you like sprinkle some flour around the dough so it doesn't stick around and you can roll it easier. As you can see over there on our makeshift roller.
On malasse, on pétrit bien pour rendre bien lisse.
You basically want to make your dough nice and smooth using a roller. Like I said earlier, to avoid it from sticking on a surface, you want to make sure that you sprinkle some of that flour that you used earlier onto the surface so that it doesn't stick too much. And you can actually roll it properly. Yeah. It's going to be a little hard as you do it, but that's all right. Although, d'huile. Okay, so as you're doing this, you want to add a little bit of oil as well onto the dough. The quantity depends entirely on you.
On peut utiliser l'huile pour éviter le colmatage. Ça facilite le
Okay.
colmatage.
Sorry, let me re-explain that. Basically, on top of adding flour on the surface so it doesn't stick, you could also use oil to make sure that it, doesn't stick on our makeshift roller. Just makes things a lot
On peut
simpler.
voir que notre pâte est bien riche du beurre qui se fait voir immédiatement dans le produit que nous faisons.
You can also see that our product now is very rich in butter that as you can see in the dough after kneading it properly.
Ça ne se colle plus.
You can see it doesn't stick as badly anymore because of the oil.
Donc, arrivé à cette étape, on peut maintenant passer au tranchage pour avoir les formes qu'on veut de nos craquettes, de nos biscuits.
So after kneading the dough and rolling it to this point, you can now cut out like little parts in whatever way you want. And it's from there that we're gonna fry it and then make our little biscuits / crackers.
Nous avons notre ciseau, ciseau qu'on utilise pour sceller ou bien scinter les pâtes alimentaires.
We're using a pizza knife. She's now gonna cut out little parts that she wants to use to actually serve. Very similar to making actual cookies. Or traditional cookies, sorry.
Si on voit que c'est un peu plus large, on peut donner la forme qu'on veut au biscuit.
So you can see that on one part of it.
En triangle, en carré. Donc, maintenant, à cette étape, on peut décider n'importe quelle forme qu'on veut à nos biscuits.
So at this point, you can now decide to shape your biscuits or shape your crackers into any way you want to. There's not really one way or one specific shape that you want to get, but this is all creativity that you can just express on your own.
Et par exemple, tu peux venir en diagonale. Tu peux venir en diagonale.
Which is kind of diagonal over here.
Tu peux aller maintenant en carré, comme je veux.
She also makes squares.
Donc, on a deux différentes formes de biscuits ici.
You basically have two different forms of biscuits / crackers.
Donc, c'est comme ça. Maintenant, c'est à cette étape, on peut les mettre au four pour commencer le.
All right, so after cutting and shaping it in whatever way you want to, you can now stick your cookies or biscuits, sorry, into the oven. We're actually gonna be using an air fryer for this, but I don't think it matters much what exactly you want to use. It might fall. Ready?
Donc, arrivé au cou, arrivé au cou. Et nous mettons les réglages, la température adéquate, au temps adéquat pour sécher nos biscuits.
So after kneading your dough, rolling it, and putting it into the little containers, you now want to turn on your air fryer, which is what we're going to be using. And you basically want to set it at an adequate time and temperature to make sure that these cook the way you want it to.
Donc, voici l'onglet température. Donc, à chaque 10 minutes, on vient vérifier.
Right. So we're setting it for a temperature of 325 Fahrenheit, and we're going to be setting it for a temperature of about 10 minutes.
Hi, kids. Why waiting for the biscuit or the cracker to bake? Over to you. Because it's going to take 10 minutes before we come back to you and show you the final product. Or if you have any questions, feel free.
All right, so for anyone who hasn't downloaded our holiday recipe book, you can go to our website at tonomisuperfoods.com. We have actually two recipe books available for everyone. It's free. All you have to do is go to our website to download our recipe books. And also we do have several recipes on our website. And if you want to be the first to know every time we publish a new recipe, which we do every week, do subscribe to our newsletter so you will be notified every time we publish new recipes.
So Dr. Kojo, what's the weather like there today?
The temperature was around 85 degrees Fahrenheit. So it was a nice weather. And this period of the year, we have weather called Harmattan. So it's a bit dry but cold. And it's one of the coldest seasons in Togo. At night, you have temperature around 70, 75, and during the day, you go to 85. Okay, while waiting for the biscuit to be baked, let me also talk to you about another product we have, another wonderful product we have, our Tonomi coffee. I love talking about coffees because we have in Togo what we call a premium coffee. So for those of you who knows about coffee, we have in general two varieties of coffee. Arabica, which has a low caffeine content, but very nice flavor, and Robusta with high caffeine content, but the flavor is not that great. So to compensate, the dietitian has even tried to develop what they call Arabusta, mixing the good of both of the varieties. But in Togo, we have a natural Arabusta. So we have a Robusta with high caffeine content, but with a really nice flavor due to cross-fertilization between the coffee and another species we have in the mountains where the coffee is grown. So we have a very nice coffee, and we have won several first prize in coffee contests all over the world. So I would also invite you to go ahead and test our coffee. I do like the medium and the dark roasted one. Scott, what's your preference?
Dr. Kojo, I'll be honest, I've been changing them every day. I start with light and then medium and then dark. So every morning I've had a different one.
Yeah, this is indeed a very great coffee.
Hey, Nate, I have a question for you.
Yep, I'm here.
So Nate is at university in the United States. Did you get your grades yet?
I did actually. Overall, I think I did all right. There were some classes that I did really good in, and some I didn't do too well in, and expectations and whatnot. But it's only my first semester, and I guess after a few months outside of home and a few months having to deal with like the adult world, kind of, I've come to understand that there's just some responsibilities that you have to like brute force through no matter what they come, and I'm probably gonna try and take that into next semester. The new
Very
mindset,
good,
the
sir.
new idea.
Very good.
Yep.
Dr. Kojo, were you happy with Nate's grades?
Kind of. I was expecting all A's, but I mean, yeah, that was my expectation. But I
Very
mean,
nice.
what drove me crazy, to be honest with you, is he got B in one class, not because the class was hard for him, but he missed some class and lose some grades. But he learned a lesson. He learned it the hard way, and I'm pretty sure that he's not going to go back to that anymore.
Good. Good. I can't wait to see the crackers. Would you call them crackers or would you call them more like biscuits?
I get.
The thing is that like we call them biscuits, but they don't really have like a Western name. You know what I mean? Like all of their names are like localized here, so we can tell you what they are, but they wouldn't mean anything to you. I'm not really sure if that made sense.
But they're more crackers than biscuits.
Yes, they're more like crackers. It's
What do you call them? Tell us.
they're called like chin-chins, or they're called something else here in Togo. Honestly, it's I don't know. I don't really like them
I mean,
myself.
the native name is Achomo.
Nice. How will you eat them? Will you put something on top?
No, they're like crackers. You can just eat, especially when you want to enjoy your whiskey. You put them outside. You're taking them and enjoy your whiskey.
Nice.
It's like you have peanuts. I mean, when you go to places, they serve you peanuts before serving the drink. It's something like that.
Yes. Yes, very nice. Be careful, the chef's going to be mad at you.
Yeah, I just want to check.
So, Dr. Kojo, what sports teams do you have in Lome? Do you have football, soccer?
Yeah, soccer is the main sport, but people do play basketball. And I've also seen people playing lately baseball in Togo.
Ah, interesting.
But like I said, soccer is the main sport here in Togo.
Yeah, here it's our time for American football.
Actually, I love it. The good news is, do you remember the year since Saints of New Orleans won the Super Bowl. I was living in New Orleans at that time. And it was so wonderful.
How fun. Drew Brees.
Exactly. And you know that the good is it was just a few years after the storm after Katrina. So
Yeah.
kind of put the whole city together, and it was fantastic.
Yeah, no, it was a good story. It was a very good story. Perhaps one day the Cleveland Browns will go to a Super Bowl. So, Dr. Kojo, how far away are the cassava farms? Where do you get the cassava root?
The cassava farm is around 100 kilometers away from, 100 kilometers is 65 miles away from the main city. And sometimes even more than that, because we want to make sure that our cassava, farm far away from the city, far away from any pollution or contamination. Especially this is an organic cassava. So sometimes we have to go deep into not in the forest, but we're far away from the, where people live to source our cassava.
And then how far away is the factory?
Right now, the factory is located in the main city in Lomé, but we're planning to move it close to the raw material. So we're currently building a new factory. That's 100 kilometers, 60 miles away from the main city. And we expect it to be operational by February 2024.
Ah, very exciting.
About the growing condition. Growing condition. Like how you use the uses for that in the West.
So, Chief, how is it going? Are we done?
Yes. La première phase est bientôt en routine. La seconde phase.
Okay, she said, when you bake it, you have to bake both, both sides.
Yes.
So one side is well baked now. So she will change it, move it to the second side. So we're gonna take an extra 10 minutes and then we're done with our biscuit. So that will be 20 minutes total baking time.
So, Dr. Kojo, what do you use plantain flour for?
Plantain flour in Togo is used, mainly for fufu. That's a local food called fufu. But we also use it in bakeries. And last time we tried fried chicken. We tried a fried chicken and a fried fish with plantain flour. It was so nice. Because when you use wheat flour to do fried chicken, it's kind of brownish. But when you use the plantain flour, it's golden. It's really nice, to be honest with you. So I would strongly recommend you trying it.
And Dr. Kojo, how about banana flour?
Banana flour is not very used in Togo. It's not a common food in Togo, but it's used in by bakeries. So they use it to do muffins, banana muffins. They use it also to do some bread, banana breads. So that's what we use them for in Togo.
Very nice. Mama Carmela is an old Italian lady who's used tapioca forever as a thickener. Is that what you use it for, the tapioca?
Yeah, we definitely use tapioca as a thickener. That's the main use we have for tapioca. We also use to do pudding. tapioca pudding is really, really nice.
I think the Italians found the tapioca pudding because I grew up with it.
Okay. It's a really nice food. I mean,
But Dr. Kojo, I think my favorite coffee is the dark roast.
yeah, mine also is a dark roast. I switch between the medium and the dark, but I prefer the dark, to be honest with you. I'm an espresso. I used to be an espresso drinker. Imported espresso drinker. But since I discovered the Togolese coffee, that's the only coffee I take.
Yes, myself also. In fact, I like you can almost feel just a little more caffeine, but the taste of it is very special. I enjoy the Robusto.
I agree. So
Dr.
what would
Kojo,
you advise using our flowers for in the US?
That's a good idea, actually. Oh, flour. So I've been to the States. Wait, sorry, my brain just went blank. So as y'all should have heard earlier, I was in the States for like my first year of college about 4 months ago when I started, and I just came back here for break. And so I really had like a lot of making pastries, but I'd say maybe pancakes are a good idea to use like the flour with. I think banana flour would be nice for pancakes because that's a unique taste. I don't think anyone has ever heard of pancakes with a slight banana taste. That sounds interesting, actually. I'm not, yeah. You can also use bread. You can like make bread with the flour. I can't think of anything specific in the States you can make bread with. Maybe, huh? Oh, true. You can make pizza dough. That's true. The first thing I thought of. You can make pizza dough with the flour. Just the basic stuff. The basic stuff. I feel like the flour here is a really good base to use, and I don't think you should like consider using it for anything special or crazy, like some super specific dessert, super specific treat that you want to make for like, I don't know, like your best friend on Valentine's Day. As random as that sounds. But I think it's something you want to be using on like a regular basis, or just something to replace the regular flour you're using, especially because a lot of it is like unprocessed and like they don't add a lot of like additives or a lot of chemicals to it to make it taste or last longer. It's very, very natural, very very organic. So yeah, I would recommend switching to it, or at least considering it.
you know,
If
Nate,
you
on
wanna try something
on
new.
our label, we have one ingredient, cassava, banana,
That's true.
plantain. That's it. No other ingredient. Hey, Nate, you know
Yeah.
what else? Get back to the States, look on our website. There's some beautiful, beautiful pancake recipes on there, man. You're going to love it.
Oh, that sounds nice. Hopefully I'll find someone in the dorm to help me make some pancakes with it then. 'Cause-
Come back out here. Your Aunt Jody will make them for you.
Oh, okay, that sounds fun.
How we doing, chef? C'est prêt?
Talking about. Can you say that again?
Are we close?
Oh, il demande si on a pas fini avec le biscuit là-bas.
Nous sommes encore à 4 minutes.
We have about 4 minutes on them still. About 4 minutes. Did you catch that?
Come on, then, Nate. You got to fill 4 minutes of time.
All right, yeah, 1 second. I got you. So what flours do people usually use outside of, Tonomi, obviously the best flour brand, you know. So
Well,
at
we
least like
shift-
from what I've heard. Sorry?
We've shifted here. We're all gluten-free now. We're only Tonomi.
Oh, okay, wow. No, but I meant like sorry, like the general population. You know, the uncultured people.
You know, for us, some of our big target markets, in fact, are gluten-free. People who see it as a health improvement. There are some people that can't process gluten, and we very much want to be a part of what they're doing. So, yeah, we think we
Right.
have a nice place and a nice product where we can help a lot of people, to be honest.
That's valid actually. Oh. But then how are we also like appealing to like the general population? Because I understand that like we're trying to help those who have like allergies and whatnot. But other than like the basic health benefits, because I feel like every company promotes basic health benefits. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's as much education as anything. It's like you mentioned before about the processed flours with the additives so that it doesn't spoil those kinds of things. We don't have any of that. I mean,
All right,
again, we have one ingredient in our bag. That's it. And as you would know, being from Togo, you know, when the crop comes in, it either gets sold or it rots in the fields. So because we can process it in the flour, we can actually help a lot of local people throughout the supply base by, again, giving them proper payments for their crops, processing it into this beautiful flour, and then again, hopefully opening a market here in the United States. So again, we've got, as you know, a very strong social element to what we're trying to do.
Promoting economic development. Yep, that's the word. That's the word. See, I'm learning from college.
Exactly. That's exactly what we're about. Again, trying to get this beautiful product into the market here in the States, and then again, helping a lot of our supply base in Togo.
All right. Understandable.
In fairness, we have a very international group of people. I mean, I really appreciate this. Dr. Kojo from Togo, myself here, Mike Gorman in the States. We've got Kix in the Middle East who helps us with all of our social media. So again, very diverse group, very committed group. So yeah, we're having a bit of fun with it.
Yeah, you guys do sound like you're enjoying it.
What was that?
No, you guys do sound like you're enjoying it. I never hear any complaints or grunts or anything. It's just lots of work being done, lots of progress, and I'm really happy about that. Just a comment from the son of one of your group, members. Sorry.
So Dr. Kojo, what's the two biggest rivers in Togo?
Can you come again, Scout?
What's the two biggest rivers in Togo?
You have the Oti, that's in the northern side, and the Mono in the southern side.
So our name Tonomi actually comes from Togo and the Mono River. So we've kind of pushed those together. This came from our friend Mike Gorman, who developed our brand name Tonomi. So again, we tried to make it as a sign of respect to our cultural origins for the product, which is in Togo. I think we're close.
Yeah, we are.
There we go.
Ah, very nice.
Oh, so good. I just taste one, it's so good.
Very nice, guys. It actually looks
Thank you.
very good. I wish we could share one with everybody.
Yeah, that'd be pretty nice.
That'd be great.
You could also consider adding like sprinkles or, cream or whatever, but I think that's a young person kind of thing. So maybe it doesn't appeal to you, but just consider, adding whatever you want to it, honestly. It's a very dynamic snack you can have.
Very good,
Thought I'd add
guys.
that
Thank
there.
you for everything. Merci beaucoup, chef.
Je vous en prie, Monsieur Scott.
No, and thanks everyone for coming for another episode of the Tonomi Kitchen. Very well appreciated. Over to you, Kix.